Stipe Miocic has responded to Tom Aspinall, claiming that he heard rumors that Stipe was injured.
I'm hearing rumors that Stipe is potentially injured. These are stuff that I'm hearing from inner circles.
Stipe responded via X. He posted this gif of Donald Trump. It says fake news. Ariel Helwani also shut down the rumors. He wrote, "I'm told the rumor that Stipe Miocic is injured and out of the Jones fight is 100% not true." Francis Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira goes down at the PFL Super Fights event on October 19th. After their recent press conference, Ferreira was receiving an incredible amount of backlash after he made some comments to Francis. Here's the clip that's going around that people are upset over.
Well, Francis has been going through a tough year in his life, but the toughest challenge in his life and in his year is going to be me. I'm going to be the biggest problem of his year right now. It's a tough puzzle for him to figure out.
As you guys know, Francis' 15-month-old son recently passed away, and many people thought Ferreira was referring to that in that clip. He cleared things up on X. He wrote, "I just want to make something clear. Francis Ngannou is a great man, and I respect him. When I said I was going to be his biggest problem this year, I was talking about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, not about his family. I am a father myself." Earlier this week, we reported on Muhammad Mokaev crashing his Mercedes. Muhammad lost control of the vehicle and ended up in a ditch. He released a statement regarding the situation. He posted this on X. He wrote, "Alhamdulillah, I'm well out from hospital. Thank you for the support. I have been tested on high level at this stage of my career, and I will be back stronger, inshallah." Jon Jones posted a video to his Instagram story of him throwing his phone into his pool. Alex Pereira's coach Polino Cruz released the footage of Alex recently sparring with Sean Strickland. While they're sparring, Sean recalls the time that he and Alex actually fought. Sean says he was landing on Alex and started to think that Alex wasn't so scary after all, and the next minute he's waking up asking what happened.
Well, I remember when me and him fought. I'm like sick, and I was like, boom, I'm hitting him. I'm a little bit of blood's coming down. I see a little blood in his face. I'm like, Alex ain't that scary.
You got that jab. You got some jabs on him.
No, I'm like, he's not like that. I'm started hitting him. I was like, oh, I'm gonna Alex up. I got all of a sudden I woke up. What the happened? Like, I'm not scared of Alex.
Of course.
But the problem is, my chin will just go. I mean, I'll go to sleep. Like it's a weird thing when you fight Alex. Is you're just like. For me to knock Alex out, he has to do something really stupid. Like he has to do like what he did against Izzy. Like if you gave me one free shot and you said give everything I can, I'm not knocking him out. But you do that to Alex, everybody on the roster is going to sleep. And that's one of the things I spar, because I feel like me and Alex kickboxing, we go toe to toe. But I just know that no matter what the I do, he's gonna eat it, and if he just touches me one good one, good night. It's because I didn't grow up working in a tire shop, dude. That's what
like Conor the Barbarian pushing that little wheel, bro. You see.
Ronda Rousey and Cris Cyborg had a heated back and forth. It started with a recent interview Ronda did, where she called Cyborg a cheating ass bitch. Ronda said, "People forget how fragile that situation was and how last minute I was able to get in. Strikeforce was the only organization that was really showcasing women, and that was because of Gina Carano, because her dad was involved with the Nevada Athletic Commission and was able to sanction fights for her and all these things. When she was gone, Cris Cyborg's pumped to the f***ing gills with steroids. No one wants to watch that cheating ass bitch. Everything just tanked. The division was dying, the UFC bought Strikeforce, and it was assumed they were going to just absorb all the male talent they liked and fold the whole organization, because that's what they did with Pride, and that's what they did with WEC. That was their business model, so there was a matter of time." Cris Cyborg responded via X. She wrote, "Does Ronda Rousey realize she only has 8 fights in the UFC and only won 75% of them? This user replied, to be fair, you only had 7 and lost the biggest one. Cyborg continued to have a 19-year career, 17 world title wins, lost and didn't quit. The idea she saved a sport is goofy. Calling me a bitch when there's no fight to promote is funny. I just saw her mom and sister at the boxing fights in LA, and they were nothing short of polite and nice in person." Cyborg ended it off with this. She wrote, "If you, Ronda, ever see me in person, you better keep that bitch word in your mouth." Canelo Alvarez made an appearance on the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. Here's the clip where Usman explains to Canelo why he called him out to box a few years back. Check out the full episode of Pound for Pound with Canelo. Links in the description.
Okay, you know what? First and foremost, let's just elephant in the room. Let's just get this elephant out. Obviously, you know, when I was champion in the UFC, I was the welterweight champion of the world. You know, there was some talks about us potentially fighting. You know, first and foremost, I'm a fan of yours. I'm a fan of everything that you've done in the sport of boxing. Obviously, we're competitors and we want to compete. You know, when we started this thing of competition, this sport, we didn't both necessarily get in it for money. You get in it to be the best at it, to compete. But then you get to a certain point where, yay, the paycheck, it makes it worthwhile because and you were in a spot to where you were just dominating everybody, to where the question was being asked, who else? And so at that moment, I threw my hand, I'm like, let me at least give him a different look, you know, because I'm not a technical boxer. So I feel like, you know, all the pieces to the puzzle when it comes to boxing. And I felt that mine's is different. I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm an MMA fighter. They might come slower, but the combinations might be different than what you're used to. So that's why I threw my hand in the mix and saying, hey, I would love to give him something different. And who knows? At the end of the day, we know as fighters that anything can happen in a fight. I hope there's no hard feelings because...
No hard feelings. This is the beauty for the sport. You the best in your sport, I'm the best in my sport, and I respect that. We never gonna know because we never made the fight. I always say that. That's why you choose MMA and I choose boxing. If I go in there with you in the MMA, it's gonna be different. If you come to my sport, it's gonna be different. I know the mentality on, oh, I can do it, I can do this. But when you go into the ring, it's very different. The same way, if I go to the octagon, I say I can do it, but it's way different, right? I love that, and no hard feelings. Don't worry, my friend.
Dricus du Plessis and Darren Till continue their back and forth on X. Darren posted some training footage. He wrote, "I would destroy Izzy and DDP." Dricus responded with this. He wrote, "Yeah, but you got cut voluntarily." Henry Cejudo's return to the UFC did not go as he planned. As most of you know, Henry TKO'd Dominic Cruz back in 2020 as double champion. Henry was the flyweight and bantamweight champion. After the fight, Henry unexpectedly retired. He returned in 2023 at bantamweight, lost to Aljamain Sterling via split decision, and then lost to Merab in early 2024 via unanimous decision. In a recent interview with MMA Junkie, Henry says he may go back down to flyweight. Henry said, "I've been icing an injury now for quite some time. I want to make sure that I'm 100%. I'm getting back into training. It's just allowing this injury to freaking heal. Father time is real, dude. I can finally admit it. It's just little nagging things. But I think in this particular thing, I want to make sure I don't have to get surgery and allow myself to get patient and take my time. Then I'm going to be 100%. Could I fight? I could. But am I going to do the same thing I did in my last fight with a torn groin? I'm not going to do that no more. I think I learned my lesson and that's it. There could be a potential return at flyweight. These are a lot of things I'm contemplating, potentially going back down. With the bantamweight division getting hot and with the newcomers coming in, there's been a lot of thought of me going back down and getting a fight with Moreno and winning the belt once again. There's a lot of cool stuff. These are the kind of things that I really want to think about and really decide once I get home and once I'm injury free. It's just one little thing, but it's a major thing because I'm going to be making a commitment to go out there and just do another run at these titles and dedicate myself like I was before." Jan Blachowicz advises Israel Adesanya to not move back up to light heavyweight. Izzy moved up and challenged Jan for the belt back in March of 2021, and Jan won via unanimous decision. Speaking to Middle Easy, Jan said it was a very good fight. I didn't expect that. I thought Izzy was going to win, but Dricus is tough. He has a very weird style. I don't know how to say it. Very tough. Weird style of MMA, but it's working. He knows what to do, how to fight, and he just uses his style very good. Congratulations to him. I think he should stay at 185 and do something, but we'll see what's going to be his decision. I'm not in his head. I don't know what he's going to do right now. We will see. Maybe he'll move to 205, but I don't think so. It's going to be much harder for him than at 185. Paddy Pimblett is interested in fighting Dan Hooker in the future after Hooker defeated Mateusz Gamrot at UFC 305. Paddy said, "I agree with Gamrot being a favorite. I don't know about a big favorite. Dan Hooker's fought a much higher caliber of fighter. Even though he's lost a few, he lost a few to some of the best fighters in the world. I could end up fighting one of these, couldn't I? Fight of the night so far of what I've watched. Let's see the decision anyway. I reckon Hooker, lad. To be honest, Dan Hooker back in the top 5. Could be a nice fight for me in the future." We got some more news regarding Dan Hooker. He recently did an interview with Submission Radio and says that he believes Conor McGregor has more to gain fighting him over Michael Chandler, despite Chandler KOing him in his UFC debut back in 2021. As you guys know, Hooker is now ranked 5th in the lightweight division after defeating Mateusz Gamrot. Chandler is ranked 6th. Hooker went on to say, "I feel like it's a smart option. You're going to fight a guy in the top 5 on a 3-fight win streak, or you're going to fight a guy who's not in the top 5 and coming off a loss. I've been staying active, and I've been fighting the best guys in the world. It just is what it is. He has more to gain from fighting me than he does from Chandler. My next fight is going to be a title eliminator. That's what my next fight is going to be. So if he genuinely wants to get back in the mix, and genuinely wants to earn his way back to a world title, it makes a lot of sense." The Believe You Me podcast did their first live show yesterday. Sean O'Malley made an appearance and said that he's annoyed by the promotion of the Sphere card. Sean thinks the UFC should be promoting him since he's fighting and not the Sphere itself. Go watch the full episode of the first live Believe You Me. Links in the description.
Sphere, man. How excited are you for this, Sean?
I'm very excited. Now that it's like, the last fight, the pay-per-view was last weekend. So now it's, it's always the next pay-per-view, what's being talked about. So now that fight's over, we got the Sphere coming up. A little annoyed-ish about the promotion of the Sphere. The Sphere's the show. I'm the one doing interviews, not the Sphere. Let's promote Sean versus Barab, the Sugar Show. I'm the one fight. Let's go, baby. But you know what? It is what it is. The Sphere's going to be f***ing legendary. It'll be epic. It'll be cool. But yeah, I think these next few weeks are really going to, things are still going to start coming out. ESPN will start posting. UFC will start posting. So it's going to feel big soon.
Sean Strickland recently detailed an experience he had with Tony Ferguson years ago. Sean says that Tony is mentally ill.
But you gotta understand, Tony is like, bro, he is mentally ill. Like, I'm not even saying this to be funny. Like, I mean, it's got a little funny. Man, you see a crazy guy. My experience with Tony was, I was friends with him. We'd talk occasionally, He's like, hey, I'm putting together a fight team in Huntington Beach. I'm like, oh, all right, Tony. Well, let me know if you need sparring. I was at 70 at the time. I was like, I got you.
Are you in Vegas at this time?
No, I was in California.
Okay.
I was like, let me know if you need sparring time. He's like, but Sean, no, it's super secretive. I'm like, all right. He's like, if you're gonna come train with us, I don't want you to train with anybody else. Like, really weird. Yeah. Like you got the voices in your head weird. And I was like, Tony, like, all right, dog. Like, I'm down, dude. I'll see you. And I just immediately hung up and just. And then like, dude, he accused one of his coaches from stealing from him, and a guy who I know. He's like, Tony, I've never been to your house, bro. Like, I don't even know where you live. Like, like, how did I break into your house and steal your bro? I don't know where the you live, Tony. So like, with Tony, dude, that's a whole bag crazy.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Tom Aspinall saying that he heard rumors that Stipe was injured. The first one's from Chris Danks. Says, Stipe out? Jones 90% says something along the lines of, oh, well, Stipe waited for me. I'm going to give him the respect and let him get healthy because he's the GOAT. I don't want to fight randoms. The second one says, if Stipe gets injured, John will probably disappear from planet Earth. And the final one's from David Robb. Says, I guess we're getting Aspinall versus Gon/Volkov 2 in MSG. Jones is never fighting Aspinall. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.